Good morning, to workday 197. Happy Christmas. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and Boxing Day. Probably a skeleton staff on site today, I would have thought. We've got the labourers, head labourer and a few labourers in. We've got the site manager in. We've got a couple of masons in. We've got an electrician in, and we also have a guy from the partitioning company in as well. So we'll get some things done today, hopefully. The walls seem to be coming out nice and white. The more they dry, the more whiter they become, so that's working out reasonably well. We're boxing up the beams up on the roof. We've got two beams, one there which pretty much stretches from this side here all the way over to here, about halfway. And we've got another one here, as you can see on the front. We're going to box those up and get those poured today, because at the moment they're out in the elements. We need to get them sprayed with OSFO, which is the rust treatment. And we need to get those boxed up until we decide what we're going to do with them. We also need to get some from the starter beam coming out of them to ensure we've got something to tie into. But yeah, we just want to try and get them boxed up and make them look a little bit prettier. At the moment, obviously this one's on the front, just looking like a bit of a mess. And obviously it's lower here, on the 4-foot piece here, look, than it is everywhere else. So I want to try and get that done. I want to try and get some boards up today as well. So we need some plaster boards up. So the electricians need to say where they're finished to start getting some boards up, start getting some feeling that it's closing in. That's what we're going to try and do. Masons blocking up the beams. Electricians finishing off some of the rooms to get the boards in. Boards going up. I think we still have a couple of the manholes to sort out as well. And I'm working with a company to try and come out and start getting the actual land levelled off over there and some more soil put in. So we'll find out whether we get something happening this week by the end of play today, hopefully. So yeah, let's have a quick look around to see if we can see if anything's changed. We do have a little bit of an issue with the well, as always. The compressor has been taken away finally to be repaired, because that was making a noise. So the guys haven't been working on here since last Thursday, I think it was. So the well itself has not made any progress at all. As you can see out here, we've cleared out here now, so we just need to get an excavator in to try and level this off a little bit more, pour some of the soil down into where the septic area is. Ideally, we need to bring the mud over the back over here as well and get this all levelled down the side, as well as all around here. Get this taken up. This wall needs to be taken up to level as well. It's one thing we haven't done, so we're going to get that done today. And then we've got to get it all backfilled. So once it's backfilled and it's taken probably about to the 8 inches down where that manhole is there, we take that all around, then we're going to be putting topsoil all on here. So that's going to be the next stage. And then we can start on the driveway. So that's the main aim. I'm working with a company to make sure we get the front door built. The front door is obviously essential. The double glazed guy unfortunately can't make it this week. Apparently he's having a week's holiday. So he's meant to do a week last week, but only did a day and a bit. And now he's decided to take some time off for the family, which I don't blame him, but under the circumstances, we need this place sealed. So as soon as it's sealed, then we can start doing the fit out. So we can't do the fit out until that happens, obviously. So there's a few things holding us up on the fit out anyway, but the main thing at the moment is getting the building sealed. So today I've got to order the garage door, and I've got to obviously get the other doors boarded up so that we can actually start sealing the building. And then I've got to talk to the company that's making the front door and find out how long it will take to actually make and install, because as soon as that's in, we have a sealed building once the double glaze is put in, obviously. So we've still got quite a bit to do. I feel a little bit directionless at the moment from a drive point of view on the job, so I need to sit down with the site manager and work out where we are and what we're doing. So I should be speaking to him in the next hour to try and get a plan built. Other than that, I'm not going to be around a great deal today, so hopefully they'll get on whilst I'm not around. Plumber, that's one person I've got a call today. He needs to get his bloody act in order. We've got so much to do on the plumbing front, and I'd say he's probably the one that's the furthest behind on everything, so that's a phone call I will be making today. Other than that, I'd like to say obviously thanks for the comments that have been happening over the Christmas period. There's been loads of people obviously communicating on here now. If there's anything at all you want to know in particular, please let me know. Some of you are building as well. If you want to talk to me, I think my number's on the actual main page itself. Please feel free to reach out and give me a message. And obviously like and subscribe. That's what we've been doing. We've gone up by quite a few in the last few weeks, so seems to get as a result that seems to get more people communicating and obviously asking questions. So other than that, have a great day, and I'll check in a bit later on. Okay, 4:15 on the first day back from Christmas. Windows are attempting to go in. We found a few problems there, which I'll show you in a second. But we love a problem. We love a problem. How are you, Will? Huh? Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Over at the end, it's going up and across. Right. So the guys are meant to be white mortaring here, which they have today. They've done this side here. Just in that little corner there. I'll show you what I mean. So they've done most of the return. Then we've got around to doing the other part yet. A few friends of mine just turned up. What we got out here? Obviously the white has been done over here. It's gone whiter. The guys are up on the roof chiseling out some stuff up there. And then we've got the doors going in over here, which, as you can see, we now have a gap just above. So, we've measured these windows today, and it's looking like we've got a slight problem with the actual threshold itself, in as much as the threshold on the door itself has a rain drip at the bottom. And because Rayside didn't do the concrete as we asked them to do, we've got a slight run backwards. So we have two options. We raise this, which means it's going to land up coming slightly higher than the inner floor, or we remount it actually on the floor itself to get the height we need for the drip. So I think we're going to go over that. That means obviously the doors themselves will be level with here. They were going to be about here. So it does mean we'll have to mount them here and have to bring the white mortar back. But I think that's what we're going to do on that side. We'll do that on all four. And it also means that we add a 2-inch gap at the top and also closes that gap as well. So we built the frame itself, which is underneath here. And I think that's what we're going to do with all of them. Today we cut out the conduits that have been sitting there. Cut the conduits out the holes. Yeah, so we're all good to go on there. The other thing that's been taking place today is plasterboard. So as you can see, there's plasterboard in here. Some of it's actually going up. This is the bathroom, so we've got to make sure we keep the back off for now. This room is nearly sealed. So all the boards up on here. We still need to do this wall, obviously. This is all needs to be done as well. That's been left open, one, because of the distance, but two, you can still get through. A few other rooms taking shape as well. This one's been done on the inside. So I was under the impression we're meant to be putting insulation in there, so that's not good. We need to be putting insulation in there, so they're going to have to come off. This room as well. Again, any form of room was going to have insulation put inside, so we're not having him completely empty, otherwise there's going to be no noise reduction in any of them. This room is as is, but again, more electrics have taken place. All the conduits are pretty much now done. Light switches have all been put in the right places, so there's jewels, as well as at other ends. That's bored and unprofessional. What else? Again, more electrics going in. The electric boys seem to be busy at the moment, and they've actually started on the main room as well. So this has been plasterboarded, and now we're starting to see conduit going up around, and we're now seeing these sort of things appearing. Mains boards. So they are really cracking on. So fair play to those guys. The plumber has turned up today, but I'm not too sure what he's done, so I need to try and track down any form of work that's been done by him today. He's probably the one at the moment. If you're listening, George, sort it out. George is probably the service provider at the moment. On the job itself at the moment is behind, so we need to get that sorted out sooner rather than later. We've still got all of the actual valves downstairs to be moved. We've got all the pipework to be run through. We've got the finishing elements up here. I mean, to a certain extent, stuff like this has already been done. It's been capped off, so nothing can be done here until the actual the kitchen is in and the pipes start going through. But things like the water tank in the annex area, there's nothing been done to that at all. So the tanks have to be put in. The mains water's got to be connected up. The mains water's got to be connected up to the tanks, along with the pumps. Can't really get to it from here, but I'll show you what I mean. So there's a tank sitting there waiting to go down, but obviously it can't go down at the moment until we've actually got the floor up, the jacks out, and the mains water's got to be fed through. So we need the mains water taken from outside into the main unit itself. Over there's a conduit on the far side. You can just see, you can just about see it. Can you see it? Twice. Zoom in. There we go. There it is, just there. Look. So there's a conduit that goes all the way through into the basement of the main house, and that's what we'll actually use to through the actual main patio itself. The water will be taken through here, through the floor, all the way through into the basement, and then in this far left-hand corner over here of the house is where we're actually going to be having the mains water, the immersion tank, etc. run through the house. But at the moment, he doesn't seem to be turning out a car trouble today. So hopefully the car trouble has gone away and he can crack on. Obviously the guys did the white mortar on the wall today. They've not done a very smooth job, but they have actually done some of it. So they've done one wall here. Show you that. So the side of the actual house itself. So that's been done in white mortar. I think they've done the little side return as well. And then they've got to do the whole of this side. All of this here. That's all got to be done. So tomorrow we've got the Bobcat coming and it's going to announce smooth and all stuff. I know I keep saying it, but it is going to be tomorrow. They've been calling me as I've been on the phone, telling me that it's coming tomorrow. So this is all going to be levelled and levelled off tomorrow, as is all going to be down here. And then we've got some soil that's going to be coming in to go on top as well. The main entrance is now looking 10 times better now it's dried. And I just need to chase the guy about the front door. We're having the front door made. So I need to chase up and find out where we are with that and what that's looking like. The other thing they've done today as well is they've actually started fitting the first parts of the formwork for the garage. So that's now been installed. As you can appreciate, this will end up coming right across at some stage once the walls have been built across, once the footings have been dug out across here and along here, and the walls have been taken up to height, then obviously this will all be formworked across. This is the first stage of that happening, although it looks a little bit drunk. I have to double check that, make sure that's straight. And there's still a mason up on the roof, because what we're doing at this present time is fixing the like you do in a swimming pool, where you've actually got the little, I don't know what they call it, but there's a technical term for it, where the wall itself, rather than having a flat wall like this, they scoop into the corners so the water doesn't come through. They're doing that on the roof upstairs. The reason why they're doing that obviously is, one, because as the water comes down to the wall, it obviously scoops up. They want to make sure they're waterproof in the corners, and they've also been doing the runs for the rain, because tomorrow we have a man turning up tomorrow to actually do the waterproofing on the roof, to try and get that sealed and to prevent damage and also correct and rectify some of the cracks we've been having. So that's being done tomorrow. I'm not too sure how they're getting up on the roof at the moment. Oh, they're probably going up on the scaffolding itself. So I might get out there and quickly show you that and see what they've done. So here's what we've been doing up on the roof. Spin it round so I can show you. So not so essential on this side, because this is the actual front lip to the patio side of the building. But we've got cracks going right through, as you can see, quite big cracks going through. This one goes right through the middle of the building. And it's got bigger as well. And then it sort of ends about here. So that's quite a monstrous crack. So fingers crossed they're going to be able to sort that. They should really scrape that back and refill that before they actually put anything over it. And then another quite big one here as well. And that sort of stretches all the way along here as well, which is right on the very front. So these edges here obviously to stop the water flowing off. So that's been done all the way around. And then over here what we've had to do is actually go here to try and tap into the water, so the puddle will get a bit of pooling here. So that is literally tapping into the pooling, so actually the water runs down. So we're going to have to then finish that off tomorrow, very similar to this one here. So although it's been kangoed out, we then smooth it off to try and make sure that it runs right, and then that will be sealed tomorrow. This one over here is done virtually the same as well. So as you can see, I mean, this one's not too bad, but again, it should really be come up here. I did draw a pencil line a while ago. This pencil line here is pretty much, we should be sort of kangoing through here to here, because it taps into this pooling here. But again, once the water makes its way down, they've gone through and drilled a hole through the back of the actual back of the actual drain head itself, which is not ideal. Again, more cracking. Another massive great crack here. Massive great crack. I mean, it's quite a size, really. So really shouldn't be having cracks of this sort of size going through. And again, this goes right through the middle of the building. It sort of finds its way up here and then joins this one in the middle. So these two cracks here are quite monstrous. And we've got this big one here, which isn't too bad, but this one here is actually quite big. So we definitely need to get those sorted out sooner rather than later, that's for sure. Bear in mind this is new concrete. We've got one going along here, which I just showed you. This pretty much goes along around here, and a lot of them actually go a bit oval. We've got another one joining there, look. So it does a bit of a semicircle through here. So again, we've got to get this completely sealed to ensure that we don't get anything coming through. Didn't think we'd actually get cracks of that sort of size. I knew we'd get a few cracks, but I didn't realise we'd get a few like this. Seem to be quite big. Certainly should be those sizes, that's for sure. It's a big dual one that going right through. But on that, it doesn't seem to be like that on the other side. There is one here that goes through quite fine. Another one quite fine there, look. But they're a lot finer on this side than they are on the other side, so. But anyway, it's a big span, so fingers crossed the span itself is what's caused it, and a little bit of patching up and that lot, and a good seat on top of it. We can stop those from getting any worse or letting any form of moisture through. The downside is, as soon as you start to get the plasterboard on, you can't really see any form of dampness coming through, so we need to make sure whatever we use is going to be good. I've been told that the stuff we are using is the best on the market, so fingers crossed it will definitely stop the cracking and stop any form of moisture. That's the plan. I've not looked at the other one over there as well. I mean, we've obviously got the other little unit over there. Be interesting to see whether it's done the same thing on a roof of that size. I'll have a quick look in a minute and see what that looks like. But anyway, that's where we are today so far. So tomorrow we've actually got the guys coming to start waterproofing up here. They'll start with rectifying the cracks first, and then they'll put a cement over the top of that. We've got the electricians back in tomorrow. The plumbers, I need to work out exactly what it is they did yet today, because I'm not too sure. I did see a car here from the plumbers, but he avoided me, so he obviously was quite convenient with that one. What else? Window guy's coming in again tomorrow, but then he's off the rest of the week. Carpenter's in tomorrow, and the Bobcat's coming to obviously do the levelling off and the topsoil. So shed loads on tomorrow, so we're back to it.